Hey everybody, my name is Joseph Knight. I'm an Aviation Maintenance Technology student here at Atlanta Tech. And on today's Student Takeover edition, I will be interviewing the director of the Aviation Maintenance Technology program, Mr. Clarence Willis. Round of applause, round of applause.
Thank you very much, thank you very much.
So I'm gonna go ahead and dive right in. My first question for you is, what got you into the aviation field? Like, give me your background on your aviation.
So, my background is I spent 21 years in the Air Force as an aircraft maintainer. Worked many different positions, from flight line maintenance to jet engine maintenance to wheel and tire corrosion. So I pretty much worked all facets of aviation. And then when I retired in 2008, I went into Lockheed Martin. They sought me out to help set up the F-35 production line. I did that, went to Texas for that for a few years, and then I left Texas and I transferred back here to Marietta, where I started working on the C5 program. That project started coming to an end in around 2016, and I left Lockheed Martin and I started teaching at another school in the area, aviation, and then Atlanta Tech sought me out to come down here to try to help them get their program started back over, and so I came here in 2020, been here ever since.
All right, how's it going? How do you like it?
I found out that teaching is my passion. I absolutely love teaching. I love interacting with the students. I love teaching young men and women, all facets of aviation. I love the reactions on people's faces when they're learning. I love the reaction when people come back and tell me how myself or Atlanta Tech has impacted their lives.
Gotcha.
So it's a really satisfying experience.
I understand it. Can you tell me about maybe like a highlight of any portion of your aviation career, like a highlight, something that really stands out, or that you cherish, you think about?
Well, there's a lot of things. So when I was in the military, I was able to fly. I don't know if you know, I traveled with the presidential administration in Maryland for a few years. Mm-hmm. I got to travel with the First Lady, Vice President. One of our trips through Africa, I get off the plane in South Africa, and I got to see Nelson Mandela. That's nice. One of the highlights of my career.
That's awesome. That's pretty awesome.
I wasn't brave enough to go up to speak to him. But
missed out.
But just to see him, I think that was one of the highlights of my career. Another highlight was just the other day, one of my students stopped by to the school and thanked me for all the things that I had taught him over the years, and then also asked me what could he do to help the Atlanta Tech program out.
Absolutely.
Again, he had an opportunity to speak to the students as well, and that really, I really liked that.
And he gave some good news, didn't he?
Gave us some good news, which I'm not going to talk about on the air.
Okay, all right, I got that, okay.
For another episode.
Okay, for the next episode. Okay, so what would you say to perhaps a student who's thinking about a career in aviation or as an aviation maintenance technician?
I can tell you, you can't waste time. So if this is a passion of yours, if it's something that you really would like to do, you really need to get started in it. The course is 18 months, so the longer you wait, the longer the 18 months are gonna be. If this is something that you really wanna do, go after it. Be a good student, learn the lessons that are taught to you. Learn what the teachers have to bring to the table, because most of the teachers here have at least 35 years of experience or more. So I would say time is of the essence. Get started, because once you get this done, you'll have the world at your fingertips. You can use this license that we have here to travel all over the world, work any place on earth with just one of these licenses.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Let's say a student comes to you, a potential student comes to you and says, what are my next steps? What should they do so that they can, make this be their next career move?
Sure. So first thing you need to do is come to the school and register, or register online. Then follow that up with, make sure that the school has all your paperwork. And once you're then accepted into the school, buy your books, come to class every day, because it's a big commitment. I have to tell people it's a big commitment, because it's 7 hours a day, 4 days a week. And for every hour that you're in the building, we count those hours. So if you miss hours, then you have to make up the hours. Right. So I will have to tell the students to be ready for this commitment. I will have to tell them. That's the next step, is to be ready to get ready for this commitment, because it's going to be a big one in your life.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so tell me, what do you do? How do you keep your students motivated?
One of the things I do to try to keep the students motivated is I tell them what the end result's going to be. A lot of times people look at and they talk about their job, but that's not what we're really offering here. This is a career
Right.
with benefits and retirements and all those things that go along with it, all the great benefits that go along with it. You have a job, you know, you're 9 to 5, you're working at Taco Bell or whatever the case may be, that's a job.
Right.
This is a future
Right.
that you'll have, a piece of paper that you'll take with
A
you for the
ticket.
rest of your life.
Right.
No one can take that from you.
Right.
So that's why I keep them motivated. Tell them what the end prize is gonna be.
Okay. And can you offer maybe 2 or 3 pieces of advice for the students out there watching who are thinking about?
Sure. Biggest piece of advice I can offer students is start your project now, stay motivated, stay diligent, understand that this is your future. And a lot of people may come and may discourage you along the way, but you got to remember that you're doing something for yourself right now that's going to pay dividends for the rest of your life. Stay focused, stay motivated. That would be my advice.
As we come to the end of another episode, we want to thank you for tuning in and spending your valuable time with us for the Student Takeover Edition. We hope that you found this episode informative, thought-provoking, and entertaining. If you enjoyed what you heard, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you can be notified about future episodes. And if you have any feedback or suggestions for topics you would like us to cover, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We love hearing from our listeners, and we're always looking for ways to improve and grow. Until next time, continue to stay strong so that you can finish strong.